Okay, children, today we will complete the chapter or course of the this month that will be asked in your midterm exam, and that is the part of the reproductive system, female reproductive system. Till now, we all studied about the reproductive system in general, then male reproductive system, and today is the female reproductive system. As you know, human beings are the unisexual individual where male reproductive system lies in a separate individual and female reproductive system lies in female as a separate system. Here we will discuss about the female reproductive system that lies in female reproductive body. As you know, after having the maturation, after the pivotal stage, female becomes sexually mature and ovum formation starts, though died, because that is the initiation stage at which even the development of uterus is not completed. So bearing child at that stage is dangerous. That's why government has also just allowed the marriage after 18 years in the female, in the case of female. So after 18 years, though biologically gamete formation starts even after 11 to 13 years when they attain the pivotal stage, but the female becomes sexually and emotionally mature after 18 of the years. Now in this female reproductive system, we will learn in three stages. First one is called reproductive system, female reproductive system. That include ovary, oviduct, fimbriae, uterus, cervix, and vagina. These are the reproductive organs. What are that? That are the ovary. This is the in pair, the pair of ovary, then oviduct, fimbriae, uterus, cervix, and vagina. Already the diagram is drawn here. This is the dissected portion of the whole reproductive system. It is not so. It is the dissected portion. This is the VS, vertical section of the whole reproductive system in females. This is the ovary. This is a almond-shaped structure, ovary, a pair of ovary attached with ligament. Then this is the muscular sac-like structure, that uterus. Then this is the fallopian tube. This is the fallopian tube. And after the fallopian tube, this is the fallopian tube. This is also called oviduct because it carries ovum or female gamete. That's why it is called oviduct. But the name is fallopian tube. Now this is the fimbriae. At the end, there is a finger-like projections that collect the ovum when during the ovulatory phase it appears there. So this is the fimbriae that collect the ovum. Then last one, this is the cervix. This is the muscular structure, cervix, and then the external genitalia that is called vagina. So this all, unlike the male reproductive system, as we all studied that the testes where lies in the scrotum, remain outside the body. But in female, the whole of this structure lies in the abdominal cavity, in the muscles of the abdominal cavity. Okay, not outside the body like in the male. The another important things, the gamete formation in male, that is a continuous process after puberty and just run till the old age. But it is not so in the female case. Female, after having pivotal stage, they started producing ovum, but that is once in month, and it is limited up to 45 to 50 years of the age. After menopause is get end, means female become in, though some exception may appear, but this is the normal breeding period of the female in between 11 to 13 to the 45 to 50 years of the age. One more things, in male, as gametes are produced in large number, sperm produces in large number, that is in million, trillion, throughout the life, day and night. But in female, there is a limitation. female could produce one gamete once in a month. One gamete once in a month. In this way, there are very limited number of gamete formation capacity in female. Gamete formation the gamete formation process in female is called oogenesis. The gamete is ovum, and the process is called oogenesis, as it was called in male spermatogenesis. And in this process, there is a hormonal influence that is called female sex hormone estrogen, that is influenced by FSH, follicle stimulating hormones secreted from the pituitary gland of one of the master endocrine gland of our body. So under the influence of the FSH, follicle stimulating hormones, estrogen hormone, that is a female sex hormone, produced in the ovary, and that initiates the formation of ovum. Okay, so this is the reproductive system. Now in the reproductive system, this pair of ovary is directly related to the production of the gametes. So it is called primary reproductive organ, or gonads, or follicle. So ovary is a essential or primary reproductive organ in female that is responsible for production of gamete called ovum. Okay, so this is, and the oviduct, but except the ovary, oviduct, fimbriae, uterus, cervix, and vagina, all are the accessory organ that not help in reproduction but help in them. Okay, so reproduction could occur even without the help of these organs in a particular individual's body. If there is a ovary, one can produce ovum, and that ovum could convert into offspring or embryo or child by the other process. There is another, as you know, there are several methods, several artificial methods. Nowadays, in vitro fertilization is going on. Surrogate mothers are available for that just bear the child. So this is only the primary reproductive organ that is responsible for production of ovum, and that ovum after fertilization could get converted into the zygote, and zygote further developed as a child fetus through the embryonic development. Okay, so this is the reproductive system. Now the gametogenesis. Second one is called gametogenesis. Gametogenesis means process of formation of ovum. It's called gametogenesis. It occurs in the ovary. If you will consider the ovary, there is a pair of ovary, but gamete formation occurs alternately. As we know, one gamete or one ovum produced in a female once in a month during their reproductive cycle, during their reproductive age, fertile age. But that is also occurs alternately. Means if in this month one ovum produced from the left ovary, in coming month ovary, the right ovary will produce the gamete ovum. So it occurs alternately in a month. Alternately in the month. Now, if you will see the sectional view of the ovary, if you will cut the VS or TS, transverse section or vertical section of the ovary, ovary contains a large number of follicular structure. That is called GF, Graafian follicles. Graafian follicles are larger in number. They are only ovum produced. By the process that you call oogenesis, ovum is produced. One Graafian follicles produce one ovum each month. In this way, there is a continuous process, and one by one, Graafian follicles started reducing. The Graafian follicles that is mature in month, highly matured in this month, will produce one ovum, and it will get ruptured. After rupturing, the Graafian follicles release the ovum, and such ruptured structure of the Graafian follicles is called corpus luteum. That is called corpus luteum. Ruptured Graafian follicles is called corpus luteum, through which a hormone secreted that is called progesterone. The progesterone hormone secreted from the corpus luteum help in maintaining the pregnancy, that also help in checking the further evolution, further ovulation. In fact, this progesterone hormone secreted during pregnancy, as soon as ovum get fertilized and fetal become pregnant, the secretion of the progesterone hormones starts. So progesterone hormones help in maintaining the pregnancy and also check the further ovulation in coming month, because there is no vacancy. Already uterus get filled by the embryonic development. So during pregnancy, no ovulation occurs, and that is controlled by a hormone that is called progesterone. And this progesterone hormone is secreted from ruptured Graafian follicles inside the ovary, that is called corpus luteum. Okay. So the gametogenesis in female is called oogenesis. It's called oogenesis, and through the oogenesis, ovum is produced. Now, reproductive third stage is called reproductive cycle. In fact, unlike the male, where male is responsible for production of gamete or sperm, haploid gamete or sperm, that's all. But female has a double role than the male. Female not only produce gamete for fertilization to produce the young one, but also provide shelter for the embryo that develop in the uterus. So female play a dual role or double role. That's why we prefer mother than the father. Okay, that's the child I want to prefer mother, Janani, because she gives birth to us. So, and they play double role, extra role than mother. What is the two role? One is to produce gamete, that is called ovum, and other is to provide the site for fertilization and development of embryo till parturition. In female, fertilization occurs in fallopian tube. You should know there are two types of fertilization in animals. One is called external fertilization. External fertilization is a type of fertilization in which fusion between male and female gamete occurs outside the body. The very common example of external fertilization is frog, fish. Frog, female frog lay her eggs on spawn during rainy season on water surface. And as soon as female just laid her eggs, male just ejaculate their sperm there, and outside the body fertilization occurs, and there after hatching of the zygote or egg, fertilized egg, young one produced. This is the region all those organisms where there is a external fertilization, large number of offsprings are produced. Because if external fertilization occurs, the new one, your offspring, need to face the adverse condition of the environment. And that's why nature has given the priority, and from the large number of offspring, someone will be survived there, and in this way continuation of the recessive phase, no problem. But where there is a internal fertilization, not such a huge number or not a large number of offsprings are produced. Generally in human, one ovum fertilized by one sperm and only one child are produced. Sometimes accidentally they may be the two child. That we will learn something about them, that is about the formation of twins. जुड़वा कैसे बनता है हम लोग बताएंगे बाद में इसके बाद. So lesser number of offsprings are produced in those organisms where there is a internal fertilization takes place. In human being also internal fertilization occurs. That may be naturally by the copulation between the male and female, or by artificially also through the artificial insemination or through in vitro fertilization. That is nowadays very popular. So internal fertilization occurs here, and the site of the internal fertilization is fallopian tube, isthmus. Here in the fallopian tube, fertilization occurs, and after fertilization, mitosis division. As you know, gametes are the haploid sexual unit. So fusion between male and female gamete results in formation of diploid status of the cell, that is called diploid cell. And in that diploid cell, that is called zygote, mitosis division starts, and that mitosis division produces 2 to 4, 4 to 8, 8 to 16 stage of this. That is called gastrula stage. That is a morula stage, blastula stage, gastrula stage. And that 16 cell stage, this zygote after fertilization get implanted in the spongy uterus, where they have the nutrient. One tissue developed there, that is called placenta. Placenta is a specific tissue that derives nourishment from the blood capillaries of the mother's uterus. So that is the development of the embryo. So embryonic development occurs inside the uterus, and it took 280 days. This is called gestation period. After 280 days, once again a hormone from pituitary gland secretes, that is called oxytocin or birth hormone. After production of the oxytocin, even little amount of oxytocin create a rapid reflex in the uterine muscles, and that lead to contraction and expansion that bring labor pain. That's why oxytocin is called birth hormone. And after continuous contraction and expansion that lead to the labor pain, childbirth occurs. That is called parturition. We are viviparous, and so we get birth as young one. So parturition occurs, and a young, healthy, about 3 to 3.5 kg child appears in the new world. As soon as they get birth, their mouth open and they start crying, and at the same times oxygen from the atmosphere enter in their lungs, and their lungs get expanded, and their own respiration, that is called pulmonary respiration, starts. In the mother's womb, the fetus have all the nutrient or oxygen through the umbilical cord, that is the collection of the placental tissue. Placental tissue that derive nutrient from the uterus collectively form a cord-like structure, that is called umbilical cord, that remain connected to the child's body, that is later on dissected after the parturition, after the birth. Okay, so this is the birth. If the birth not occur, if the fertilization not occurs, now here we will learn the reproductive cycle in the female completed in 4 stages. Whole reproductive cycle in female is completed in 4 stages. That is called, first is called menstrual phase. Second is called proliferative phase. Third one is called ovulatory phase, and fourth one is called secretory phase. These all phases completed in 28 days. As it occurs in a repeated fashion, monthly, periodically. This is called menstrual cycle also. Reproductive cycle is also called a menstrual cycle. Okay, reproductive cycle is also called a menstrual cycle that continue or repeats each after 28 during the fertile period of the female, but it remains absent during gestation period or pregnancy period. So let's be our menstrual phase, that is 28 days cycle. This cycle, menstrual phase, it is completed between 3 to 5 days. In 3 to 5 days after ovulation, now you see the diagram. After ovulation, in the ovary, Graafian follicles ruptured and ovum released. This released ovum is collected by this fimbriae and it moved ahead. It extended in the fallopian. Ascending of the ovum in fallopian tube is facilitated by the ciliary epithelial tissue found as endoepithelial layer of the fallopian tube. From the class 9th, you have learned different types of epithelial tissue. Among them, one of the important tissue is called ciliary epithelial tissue, having the cilia that create a wave, ciliary wave. On that wave, the ovum started rolling down and it moved ahead towards the fallopian tube. Gradually, this ovum reaches here. If this ovum that reach here wait there for the fertilization, if in those period sperm of the male reach there by the copulation or by the artificial insemination, this ovum get fertilized and form zygote, and about which we discussed, get implanted. If not, there is no use. This ovum get degenerated and get destroyed. But what happened to this? For providing nourishment to the ovum, a thin film of nourishment to the ovum and implanted the embryonic form. So there is no, as it occurs monthly, so there is no use of all that spongy tissue and blood capillaries that provide that meant for providing nourishment to the zygote or egg. So with this degeneration of this egg, all that blood capillaries and endometrium layer of the uterus get destroyed and started shedding off and coming out to the cervix, to the genital tract outside the body in the form of a clotted blood that is called menstrual flow. This continues for 3 to 5 days. That is called menstrual phase. Okay, that is called menstrual phase. It is completed in 3 to 5 days. So all these fallopian tube or oviduct or the blood capillaries of this uterus and uterine endometrium layer of the uterus shedding off and comes out in the form of clotted blood in the form of menstrual flow from the body. That continues for 3 to 5 days. Starting of this menstrual flow or starting of the menstrual cycle in the female is called menarche. That is menarche. Menarche, that is the start of the reproductive phase in female. And it continues up to 45 to 50 years of the age. After that, female become infertile because the cycle gets stopped there. That is called menopause. After that, ovulation not occurs. That is called menopause. So in between the menarche and menopause, there is a fertility stage of the female. Now the proliferative stage. As soon as all these fallopian tube and nutrition get cleaned, Now the reproductive system start preparing for the coming month or coming ovum that is ready to come in next cycle. That is called proliferative phase. Again, the same things, endometrium, spongy cells, blood capillaries start developing there. And that is completed in about 13th to 14th day. This is called proliferative phase. After that, on 13th to 14th days, this is called ovulatory phase, at which ovum produced. The production of ovum is called ovulation, and it occurs between 13th to 14th days of the cycle, in which ovum produced by rupturing the Graafian follicles. This is called ovulation, and ovum is collected here and reaches finally to the isthmus at the end of the oviduct. There they wait. This is called ovulatory phase. And after ovulatory phase, if ovum fertilized, it started dividing in the form of zygote again and again, and that it get implanted here. If not, again, after degeneration of this egg, secretory phase occurs. Mature the hair during this phase, this again mature, and they receive the ovum. They started developing the uterine muscles and everything for the child development there. And if not, then again menstrual phase starts, and again they get shedding off all the things. So the reproductive cycle in the female is completed in 4 phases, that is called menstrual phase, proliferative phase, ovulatory phase, and secretory phase. Okay, the period in which child growth takes place in the female's uterus, that is called gestation period, and that is about 280 days, the total in this. Okay, so this was about the female reproductive system. Now one thing, some of you are asking about the twins. When 2 or more than 2 child born at a same time from the same mother, when 2 or more than 2 child birth occurs at a time from the same mother, is called twin, formation of twins. Such child that appears at a time from the same mother is called twins. So who are twins? Twins are those two or more individuals who born at a time from the same mother at a time. From the same mother are called twins. Okay. Now twins are of 3 types. Actually, twins 3 तरह के होते हैं. One is called identical or monozygotic twins. Dizygotic twins or fraternal twins. So there are 3 types of twins. Twins are those who born at a time from the same mother. These twins are of 3 types. One is called identical twins or monozygotic twins. As we know, only one male or female born at a time from the same mother. But sometimes when zygote start dividing in the first mitotic division, suppose this is a zygote and it divides the cell should retain attached together. But sometimes at the first stage of the mitotic division, these two cells get separated. These two cells not remain intact together and get separated, and they develop as a two embryo in the same uterus. That is called identical twins. Such twins are identical in many sense. In fact, that are the clone of each other. They may be either male or female. Never that will be the male and female both. Such identical twins will always have the similar sex. They will be the male or the female because they develop from the single zygote. That's why it is called monozygotic in nature or monozygotic twins. In fact, these twins are very similar in all the sense. So this is called monozygotic. Next one is called dizygotic or fraternal twins. In fact, such twins generally in the human being, only one child developed in a uterus once. Only one child development occurs during one pregnancy, because only one ovum is produced there. Sometimes accidentally, during superovulation condition, more than two ovum produced. That is called superovulation. More than two or more than two ovum get produced at a time. As you know, there is a huge number of sperms produced in one copulation, and in one ejaculation millions of the sperm produced, and there is a race among them, and those who are fittest one get chance to fertilize the ovum. But if number of ovum are higher, more than one, then what happens? 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 sperm will get chance to fertilize the available ovum in the fallopian tube there, and so 2 or more than 2 zygote will produce there, and that will develop together in the same uterus. But such child produced will be considered as twins, but that may be one male or one female, two male or two female, or two female or two male. So there is no certainty. That may be of the varied characters, because different sperms and different ovum fertilize there. The similarity in the twins is there that they get birth at a time. They developed in a same uterus. So that are called twins, but there is a fraternal twins. They are not completely identical to each other. They are just brother and sister. So they are called fraternal twins. Others are called Siamese twins. Siamese twins actually reported from the Thailand. Earlier, Thailand were known as Siam. So such twins were firstly reported from the Siam. So the twins are called Siamese. In fact, what is Siamese twins? Actually, Siamese twins are those twins that get birth at a time from the same mother, but their certain body parts remain attached. Actually, during the development of embryo, accidentally they could not get separated completely, and certain portion of their body get attached together. They remain attached together, and they born together in such condition, and even some of them could remain attached together throughout their life. Some get died, and nowadays with surgical process, some of such Siamese twins are separated by through the surgical operation. So such twins, which are in fact the monozygotic, but remain attached. They could not get separated completely and remain attached with certain portion of their body are called Siamese twins. Okay, so these were about everything were about the twins. बात समझ में आ गई? तो this these were your course. आपके कोर्स में ये रिप्रोडक्टिव सिस्टम, रिप्रोडक्शन इन प्लांट्स और रिप्रोडक्शन इन एनिमल इंक्लूड किया गया था. आफ्टर इन कमिंग मंथ वी विल लर्न अबाउट द रिप्रोडक्टिव हेल्थ एंड जस्ट बर्थ कंट्रोल, सेक्सुअल ट्रांसमिटेड डिजीज, इन सब के बारे में हम लोग कमिंग मंथ के कोर्स में पढ़ेंगे. आप अभी तक आपका ये कोर्स कंप्लीट हुआ. फ्रॉम कमिंग डे वी विल डिस्कस इन केमिस्ट्री एंड द लेफ्ट पोर्शन इन एसिड बेस सॉल्ट्स के बाद आपका जो कोर्स बचा हुआ है वो दैट इज अबाउट द सॉल्ट्स. तो हम लोग सॉल्ट्स के बारे में पढ़ेंगे, कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट सॉल्ट जो आपको स्टडी करने हैं. सोडियम हाइड्रोक्साइड के बारे में, ब्लीचिंग पाउडर के बारे में, वॉशिंग सोडा के बारे में, तो इन सब के बारे में, प्लास्टर ऑफ पेरिस के बारे में. तो ये 4-5 सॉल्ट्स आपके कोर्स में हैं. तो टुमारो from tomorrow we will discuss about those portion and then your course will be completed. We will also load some of the important question answer related to these chapters from the reproduction and from the chemistry portion, because in October, last of the October, you will face your midterm exam. So till that, you go through the chapter once, everything will be clear. Stay at home, stay safe. Thank you.